Something happened to me recently that turned my understanding of myself upside down. I was looking into the eyes of my best friend, someone I've known since childhood, shared joys and sorrows with, and suddenly, I couldn't recall his name. It wasn't just an awkward moment. It was like a bolt of lightning. Fear, cold and sticky, gripped my heart. It felt as if a piece of my soul had been erased. I froze, trying to grasp the fleeting memory, but it slipped away like sand through my fingers. In that moment, I realized this isn't just forgetfulness. It's something bigger. It's the feeling that I'm losing my connection to myself. I started noticing little things that never bothered me before. I forgot why I walked into the kitchen. I lost my glasses, which I'd just been holding. And then, the scariest moment, I couldn't recall my son's birthday. My boy, whom I rocked in my arms, I taught to ride a bike. It felt like a betrayal. Not of him, of myself. I stared at the calendar, and my mind was blank. That's when it hit me, I'm not just losing memories. I'm losing my connection to life, to my loved ones, and to my past. And the most terrifying part, it doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in slowly, unnoticed. First, it's a small thing. I forgot where I parked the car. Then the title of a book I just read. And then you're standing by the stove, unable to remember if you turned off the gas. It's not just age. It's a signal that my brain, this intricate, incredible mechanism, isn't getting what it needs: blood, oxygen, and nourishment. I started asking questions. Why is this happening? Is it inevitable? Am I doomed to lose myself bit by bit, memory by memory? I thought back to moments that once seemed trivial. Chronic stress at work, sleepless nights, and fatigue that became part of life. I thought it was normal. But it's not normal. These are signals I ignored. My brain is like an engine I've been starving of fuel for years. Blood stagnates, especially when I sit for hours at a desk or in front of the TV. Vessels narrow, oxygen doesn't reach the neurons, and they start to break down. It's not just forgetfulness. It's a slow fading. And the scariest part, I'm not alone. Millions of people worldwide face this, unaware that the process can be reversed. But then I learned the truth. It's not a sentence. It's not the end. There are ways, simple, science-backed actions I can start today to preserve mental clarity, memory, and brain power even after 70. And I'm not talking about pills or complex diets. These are real, accessible habits that changed my life. They helped me regain confidence, joy, and vitality. And I want to share them with you. Imagine, in a month, you effortlessly recall names, faces, and cherished stories from your past. Your loved ones look at you with admiration, saying, "You're different." It's exciting to be around you. You're alive. This isn't a fantasy. It's possible. And I'll prove it to you. Today, I'll share the first step, a habit that takes just 2 minutes a day and stunned even my doctor. But first, I want you to think, what does memory mean to you? It's not just a brain function. It's the mirror of your life. Your memories are you. And if you lose them, you lose pieces of yourself. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to inspire. Because I've been where you might be now. I felt that fear. But I found a way back. And that way begins with the story of one man who refused to give up. His name was Alexander Mikulin, an aircraft designer, engineer, and genius who, at 50, was told by doctors, "You don't have long left." Weak heart, fatigue, worsening memory. But instead of giving up, he started searching for answers. And he found them. He developed a system that not only restored his health, but also extended his life to 90 years, with a clear mind and energy that young people envied. His secret? Not pills, not magic, but simple actions he did every day with unwavering consistency. I started with one of his habits, and the results blew me away. 2 minutes a day, no gym, no costs. And my brain came alive. I began noticing details I'd missed before. I remembered where I'd left old photos I'd been searching for months. It was like waking up. And I realized it's never too late to reclaim clarity. It's never too late to reclaim yourself. Today, I'll share the first step, a habit that became my lifeline. But the key isn't just knowing. The key is starting. Because tomorrow might be too late. I'm asking you, don't put it off. Take the first step today. And if these words resonate with you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll restore your brain's strength and your confidence in tomorrow. Stay with me, and I'll show you how one simple habit changed everything. I never imagined that memory could slip away so quietly. It doesn't happen in a single day. It's like sand trickling through your hands, leaving nothing behind. Today, I forgot the name of a new neighbor, smiled, nodded, but my mind was blank. Tomorrow, I couldn't recall the title of a book I just read. And then I stood by the stove, staring at the gas, unsure if I'd turned it off. My heart clenched with fear. I thought, it's just fatigue. It's age. But the truth was far deeper. And far scarier. My brain, this incredible, intricate mechanism, isn't getting what it needs to thrive. Blood isn't flowing to it as it should. The neurons that hold my memories, my thoughts, and my identity are starving. And I didn't even notice when it started. I began asking questions. Why is this happening? Is it inevitable? Am I doomed to lose myself piece by piece, day by day, memory by memory? I thought back to moments I'd brushed off, chronic stress from work, sleepless nights, and exhaustion that became a way of life. I thought it was normal. But it's not normal. These are signals I ignored. My brain is like an engine I've been depriving of fuel for years. Blood stagnates, especially when I sit for hours at a desk or in front of the TV. Vessels narrow, oxygen doesn't reach the neurons, and they begin to break down. It's not just forgetfulness. It's a slow fading. And the most terrifying part, I'm not alone. Millions of people worldwide face this, unaware that the process can be reversed. But then I discovered the story of a man who refused to give up. His name was Alexander Mikulin. He wasn't just an academic. He was an aircraft designer, an engineer, and an inventor who was ahead of his time. At 50, doctors gave him a grim diagnosis: a weak heart, chronic fatigue, and worsening memory. They told him, "You don't have long left." For most, that would have been the end. But not for Mikulin. He didn't rely on pills or self-pity. He began searching for answers, not in pharmacies, but in the very nature of the human body. He studied how our systems work, how blood nourishes the brain, and how movement can revive what seems lost. And he found it. Mikulin created a system that not only restored his health, but also extended his life to 90 years. 90 years, with a clear mind, a vibrant curiosity about the world, and energy that young people envied. I listened to his story, and a spark of hope ignited within me. Mikulin said something simple yet chilling: a person doesn't age because they've lived many years. They age because they stop caring for blood circulation and brain activity. It was a revelation. I realized my brain isn't doomed. I can give it what it needs. And I started with what Mikulin himself did: simple actions that require no money, no fancy equipment. He didn't believe in miracle pills. He believed in consistency, in the power of nature, and in our own minds. And you know what's most astonishing? These methods work. I began noticing changes within a couple of weeks. My thoughts grew clearer. I stopped getting lost in daily tasks. I remembered where I'd left old photos I'd been searching for months. It was like waking up. But what exactly did Mikulin do? What habit became his lifeline? He called it the gravity jolt. A simple movement that takes less than a minute but changes everything. I tried it, and I was stunned. Just 30 seconds in the morning and evening, no effort, no cost. And my brain began to come alive. Blood started flowing through my vessels again, nourishing my neurons, bringing back clarity. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but I felt the difference. And I want you to feel it too. In the next part, I'll share how this movement changed my life and how it can change yours. But the key isn't just knowing. The key is starting. Right today. Don't put it off. Your brain deserves this. If these words resonate with you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll restore your mind's strength and your confidence in tomorrow. Stay with me, and I'll show you how one habit can be the key to a new life. When I first heard about the gravity jolt, I thought, seriously? That's simple. But this one small movement became my lifeline. I started doing it every day, and it's like my brain woke up. Today, I want to share how these 30 seconds in the morning and evening changed my life, and how they can change yours. This isn't just an exercise, it's a key to reclaiming mental clarity, memory, and energy I thought were gone forever. It all started when I realized my brain was starving. Not because of age, but because blood wasn't reaching it the way it should. I spent hours sitting at a desk, watching TV, living my usual life. But with each day, my neurons got less oxygen, less nourishment. I forgot little things, where I left my keys, what I talked about with a colleague. But then it got worse. I couldn't recall an old friend's name or my son's birthday. It scared me. I felt like I was losing myself. That's when I came across Alexander Mikulin's method. A man who, at 50, was handed a death sentence by doctors but rewrote his fate. He lived to 90 with a sharp mind and energy I envied. His secret? Simple actions that bring the brain back to life. The gravity jolt was the first thing I tried. It sounds almost absurd, but it works. All you do is stand on your toes, lift slightly, and drop sharply onto your heels. 30 seconds, 10 to 15 times, morning and evening. No gym, no costs. I started doing it, and within a week, I felt a difference. My thoughts grew clearer. I stopped getting lost in daily tasks. And after 2 weeks, something incredible happened. I remembered where I'd left old letters I'd been searching for months. It was like a flash, as if someone turned on a light in my head. Why does it work? Mikulin explained, as we age, blood stagnates, especially in the tiny vessels of the brain. When we don't move enough, neurons miss out on oxygen and nutrients. They start to suffocate. The gravity jolt is like a push that gets blood flowing, even to the smallest capillaries. My brain began getting what it needed. I felt my focus return, my memory come alive. It's not magic, it's physiology. And it's accessible to everyone. I read about a woman from America, Evelyn, 77 years old. She started doing this exercise twice a day. 2 weeks later, she called her daughter and said, "It's like my mind cleared up. I remembered where I put old photo albums I'd been looking for 3 months." This isn't a one-off. Thousands of people worldwide, following Mikulin's method, are reclaiming their clarity. But there's a catch: consistency. It's like brushing your teeth or drinking your morning coffee. Skip a day, and your brain loses strength. Skip a week, and you slide backward. I do it every day, and it's become my habit, my shield. I want you to try it right now. Stand up, do 10 gravity jolts. Feel the blood start to move, your body come alive. It takes less than a minute, but it could be the first step to a new life. Write, "I'm moving," in the comments if you've started. I want to know you're with me, ready to give your brain its power back. But this is just the beginning. The gravity jolt is the foundation, but there are other habits that amplify the effect. Mikulin said the brain needs more than just waking up, it needs nourishment. In the next part, I'll share how a simple ingredient from my kitchen, one you might have overlooked your whole life, helped me strengthen my memory and stun my family. It doesn't require money or complex recipes, but the impact is astonishing. The key isn't just listening. The key is acting. Your brain is waiting for this. It's waiting for you to give it a chance. If these words inspire you, if you feel ready to take a step, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll restore your mind's clarity and your joy in every day. Stay with me, and I'll show you how another habit can change everything. I never imagined that the answer to my memory struggles could be right in my kitchen. When I started my journey to mental clarity, the gravity jolt was my first step. It woke up my brain and got the blood flowing. But I realized that wasn't enough. My brain needed more than movement. It needed nourishment, fuel to sustain its strength. That's when I discovered 2 habits, inspired by Alexander Mikulin, that truly brought my mind to life. Today, I'll share them with you. A natural adaptogen used for centuries to sharpen the mind, and a simple drink I make every day. These methods changed my life, and I believe they can change yours. Mikulin, the man who outsmarted aging, always said the brain isn't just neurons, it's a system that needs support. He didn't look for pills, but for natural solutions. One of his discoveries was ginseng, a plant called the elixir of life in China and Korea. I decided to give it a try. I started with 20 drops of ginseng tincture twice a day, 30 minutes before meals. Within a week, I noticed my mind growing sharper. I could solve crosswords again, remember names of new acquaintances, and feel truly alive. It was as if a veil had been lifted from my eyes. Ginseng boosts blood circulation, saturates the brain with oxygen, and aids focus. But there's a catch. It's not a toy. I avoid taking it in the evening to protect my sleep and take a break after 3 weeks to prevent my body from getting used to it. If you have high blood pressure, check with a doctor. For me, it was a game changer. Then I went further. Michelin believed nature already provides everything we need for health. And I found it right in my kitchen. Honey and celery. Yes, the ordinary honey on my shelf and celery I used to toss into soups. Turns out, they're a powerful duo. Honey is a natural antioxidant, protecting the brain from aging and improving blood flow. Celery isn't just a vegetable. It helps restore neural connections, supports focus, and strengthens memory. I started making a simple drink. I take a 10 to 15 centimeters celery root, chop it finely, add 2 tablespoons of honey, and pour in warm, not hot, water. I let it sit for a couple of hours and drink 1 glass a day. Within a week, I noticed it was easier to remember to-do lists, names, and even dreams. It was astonishing. I felt my brain coming alive, clarity returning. I read about Marta from Florida, 80 years old. She drank this every morning and one day told her granddaughter, "I remembered the name of my 3rd grade teacher. That hasn't happened in 40 years. This isn't a one-off." Simple ingredients, available to everyone, can work wonders. But the key is consistency. Every day I drink this, I know I'm giving my brain what it needs. Every day I skip, it's a step backward. I want you to try it. Tomorrow, grab some honey and celery and make this drink. It's simple, it's cheap, and it works. Write "memory in a spoon" in the comments if you're ready to start. I want to know you're with me, choosing your mind, your life. But there's more. Another habit locks in the benefits, tied to how I sit, stand, and move. Michelin knew the body and brain are more connected than we think. In the next part, I'll share how one change in my body brought back not just memory but confidence. Don't put it off. Your brain is waiting for your care. If these words inspire you, if you're ready to take a step toward clarity, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll restore your mind's strength and your joy in every day. Stay with me, and I'll show you how another habit can change everything. I never thought that simple changes in my life, movement, nutrition, caring for my body, could so profoundly impact my mind. The gravity jolt woke up my brain. Ginseng and honey with celery gave it strength. But I realized that wasn't enough if I didn't care for my body and train my mind. Today, I'll share the final 2 habits that solidified my results. They helped me not only preserve my memory but also reclaim the joy of life, confidence, and the sense that I'm truly myself again. These habits, inspired by Alexander Michelin, proved that you can keep your brain young even at 90. The first is posture. I never considered how much my body's position affects my mind. But Michelin knew, a slouched back isn't just a bad habit, it's a threat to my memory. When I sit hunched over, head down, the vessels in my neck and spine get compressed. Blood flows poorly to the brain, and neurons miss out on oxygen. I wasn't just losing posture, I was losing clarity, focus, and the ability to remember. I started fixing it. Every morning, I do simple exercises. I stretch my arms upward, roll my shoulders back, and walk with a straight spine. Sometimes, I even place a book on my head, like in old movies, and walk across the room. It takes a minute, but the effect is incredible. My brain feels like it's breathing deeper. After 3 weeks, I noticed I was sleeping better, thinking faster, and forgetting less. My daughter said, "Dad, you're speaking more clearly, you're like your old self again." That was the best thing I could hear. But the most crucial habit is training the brain. Michelin said, "The brain is like a muscle. Stop using it, and it atrophies." And it's true. I've seen friends retire, stop learning, stop reading, and stop solving problems. Their minds faded, slowly but surely. I didn't want that fate. So, I started training my brain every day. The simplest exercise I took from Michelin: every evening, before bed, I recall 5 new things I learned or did that day. It could be a new word, a name, a recipe, a fact from a book, or a conversation with a neighbor. It takes a couple of minutes but builds new neural connections. My brain comes alive. After a month, I started writing notes about my life, for the first time in years. I felt like a light switched on in my head. I read about Linda from California, 82 years old. She began this ritual and, a month later, wrote the first chapter of her autobiography, which she'd put off for a decade. She said, "My brain came alive. I feel the same. But the key is not skipping. One day without training, and the brain relaxes. A week, and you slide backward. It's like forgetting how to ride a bike, except with memory, it's harder to come back. Now I know, memory isn't just a function. It's the mirror of my life. And I don't want to lose it." The gravity jolt, ginseng, honey with celery, posture, and brain training. These 5 habits brought back my clarity, confidence, and joy. I effortlessly recall names, dreams, and stories from my past. My loved ones look at me and say, "You're alive." And I want you to feel that too. Start today. Do 1 posture exercise. Write down 5 things you learned today. Comment 2 below if you're with me. And like this video, subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll make your mind stronger. This video is created for motivational and educational purposes. It represents a unique, original adaptation of ideas based on public lectures and leading healthcare and medical scientists, with respect for their contributions and without violating copyrights. The content is tailored for a broad audience to promote self-development, personal growth, and increased awareness. All materials comply with fair use policies and do not violate YouTube's guidelines. The goal is to inspire, educate, and awaken. No medical or psychological advice is provided in this video. Each viewer is responsible for how they apply the ideas presented.